We're live.
Well, hello, and welcome to Knitting Around LA. I'm Judy Richards, and
I'm Julie. And our guest today is Penny.
We have a very, very, very special guest, Penny Richards, who I have to be upfront and say is not related to me, although we share the same last name. I wish she were, because she's a force unto her, creative force unto herself. So, Penny, welcome to our show.
Happy to be here. Happy to be here. This is fun.
Well, so Penny, how we met Penny was through Yarn Bombing Los Angeles, which is how Judy and I met. But Judy was in it earlier than I am, so why don't you take it?
I don't know how much earlier I was in. Maybe just a tad. But we all really came together because that was a very large project. And for those of you who might not be familiar with it, you can check out Yarn Bombing Los Angeles. We have a website, and you can go back and look at the. It was that at the time it was called the Craft and Folk Art Museum. And we actually literally physically covered the facade of that museum in Granny Squares. So because of the magnitude of that project, we had many roles, many jobs, and lots of work. So many hands on deck. Hence, we had a lot of people and we met a lot of people. And it's nice to say that so many of us are still friends and still contributing to the LA art world.
Yeah.
So that's sort of the very quick overview of how we all met. And I
came into that pretty late. I helped with some seaming, and I think I made about 6 squares. But by the time I came around, you didn't need squares anymore. I helped with some seaming mostly.
Well, that was a lot of seaming to do.
Yeah.
There were so many blocks. I forgot what the number was, in the thousands. And
it was something like 10,000, 10 or 15,000.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think we had worldwide collection. The call went out, and we had every state represented in the United States except one. And that state I've long since forgotten because they didn't contribute. So there you go. And we had, I think, 15 or 17,000 squares that were contributed. And it was a huge project and lots of fun. So do check it out if you haven't seen it.
Oh, so here, let me see. Are we seeing this? Oh, here we go. So this is here's what the Craft and Folk Art Museum looked like when it was, when the CAFM Granny Squares was up. And let's see a few more things.
We all loved the fact that Jack Nicholson was up there on that banner and looking at the museum and the grannies. So we thought that was great.
Here, this is one of my favorite photos of all time. And actually, Penny, I don't know if you're there.
I don't think I am.
I'm in that blue shirt all the way over to the left.
There's Judy. We can see her elbow. And there's me in the black tank top. Going towards the right is actually
Arzu.
Well, first I don't. Oh, Darlin is leaning down with the blonde hair, and then Penny. Oh my God!
I'm not there.
No, not you. Another Penny. Penny.
Oh, that's right.
From Northridge, and I can't believe I can't remember her last name. But then B. Coleman, then Arzu, and then lots of elbows and heads. Oh, this was a work day or work evening in Arzu's studio, and
I didn't look up when Carol said that she was taking the pictures.
So clockwise, starting on the left, actually is part of David in the chair with the green and blue. And then I can't remember the woman with her hands in the air standing.
That's Marjan.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, I couldn't remember her name. And then I think that's in the back, Glenede and then
Yes.
Judy. Again, in the blue shirt, not looking at the camera.
No, I don't follow direction well.
And then the woman holding up the green, I kind of remember her. I can't remember her name.
Oh,
And then then in the woman seated in black, I don't know if I know her. And then again, Darlin.
right.
And then going clockwise, I think that's Casey Redway. I don't know. And then someone I don't know. And I'm in there smiling with green gloves on. And then kind of at the 6 o'clock position is, I think that's Carol.
It is Carol. So it must have been Arzu taking the picture.
And then this other woman, I should remember her name, but then
Yeah, I don't remember.
then okay, other yarn bombing projects. Oh, this is the current one,
Right.
Alone Together. And Penny, you have something
Yes.
in here, don't you?
Yeah,
okay,
I do.
so
I have my son's it's the same piece I submitted for and is going to be in Opulent Mobility this year. It's the streamers that run a social distance away from my son's wheelchair.
Right.
We're one of the early ones.
Social distance. I get it. Okay.
Yeah. It's pretty far back, I think. I think we were one of the early ones because I already had it made for Opulent.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Where is it? Let me see if I can find Alone Together. Because these are all different projects.
Yeah.
Well, it's on the homepage. Alone Together? No, it's not. Here it is. Oh.
Well, I think you're back to, that's it. That's the new stuff.
Yeah, but where are all the pictures, though? What am I not doing?
You're only up 2 at a time on Instagram.
Oh, okay. I thought, this Instagram is the YBLA Instagram, not the Alone Together.
Right.
Oh, there it is.
Yep.
There it is. There's Jake.
There it is.
Oh, that's social
There it is. Yep.
streamers.
Yeah. I was hoping we could take it down to the pier or down to the strand and get a picture of it at sunset in the wind, but the last few weekends have been just no wind at all. We made a video on 2 weeks ago that was just like showing how there was no wind, basically. But with wind, it makes it gets really activated and fun.
Well, it looks wonderful. And I'm sure that Jake loves it.
He likes any kind of thing that brings more attention and fuss.
And I'm sure he likes the movement.
Yeah. Well, we keep adding to it also. So we've added some more like strands of sparkly, tinsely stuff and just kind of nodding in more things as they come along.
Well, as always, you're super creative. And you're super fast with your work as well. You're just amazing. Haven't you?
Okay, well let's look at a couple more things.
Okay.
Let's just
Yeah.
because
body of work.
because I am curious about the whole process. How long do these take? What's your planning? Do you do sketches and the whole thing? So let me once again share the screen and let me see. Is this the right one? No.
Well, Julie's working on that. Let me ask you a question. How long do you work on multiple pieces simultaneously?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Because when you start making, the squid, that's not really,
Yeah.
it's not something I can carry around with me after a while. So this is the home project after it gets too big. And then I have to bring small projects and that sort of thing.
That's like your solar system.
Projects, the thing.
your solar system hat?
Doop, doop, doop. There you go. There's the solar
There it is.
system
The sun.
with all the planets and the
Yeah.
asteroid belt.
Oh my gosh.
I'm trying to get that up, but I am having issues.
Well, we all, technical problems that can certainly happen.
Yeah,
I remember when you had that down at the Craft and Folk Art, and they had that, you stood in front of that bamboo sculpture.
Oh,
And-
yeah.
And you looked like you were in a portal. You're you were time warping. That was really good. That was a good shot.
This was fun to
How
wear.
do you manage? Well, when you're making such. Well, first of all, what's your medium, a media choice with these things? Because for people who don't know you, tell them what you do. Like your hat.
Well, okay. I crochet. I've been crocheting since I was 10 years old in Girl Scouts. Thank you, Mrs. Cannon. They set all the left-handed girls together at one table and taught us how to make granny squares. And so everything since then I made granny squares till YouTube came, and then I knew how to make other things. But I do think it's just a good fit for me. Crochet is, and so I only crochet. I don't know how to knit. And I mostly use thrift shop yarn just because it feels good to be using up stuff that is discarded. Oh, there it is.
Oh, there she is.
Yeah.
There's the sun and the moon and the stars.
And the asteroid belt.
Oh, and then this was the solar eclipse.
That was
the
the eclipse day.
asteroid belt. Oh, let's see. Let's go through these. Oh, the asteroid belt.
Yeah.
I love it.
That wasn't my idea. It was somebody online after they saw this one right there. They said, you got to add the asteroid belt. And I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Did I forget the asteroid belt? Oh.
In that picture, it's before it was attached to a.
Oh, I see. So
Yeah.
where was the which picture was it in?
It's
But
not
there, I mean, this is great. There it is, the asteroid
And the
belt.
planets are made with a sphere generator. There's a crochet sphere generator, like a pattern generator online that you can go to, and you tell it how many stitches you want around the equator, and then it works out the rest of the pattern for you. So you can make different sizes that are very specific sizes and precisely spherical.
Yeah.
I tell you, Penny, you know what? You're a hoot, because other people might make those things, but you not only make it, you wear it.
Oh, yeah.
And you do it with such glee. It's so wonderful and fun to see you, because you are as animated or equally more so than your pieces.
And I love this dress, Penny. Did you make the one in this picture?
I did not make that dress, no, but it was a good one for a black and white kind of day, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. Now, so now my question is, do you have like a sketchbook? Do you write down ideas? Do you do sketches, or how do you handle that?
Really, I don't, and I don't really know where they're heading. This one started with the I had a bag of black linen fiber, and I was working with it. I was just kind of making pieces, making rectangles to see what they would be, and then it turned into that vest. And black linen was so dull. it was just kind of like a vacuum. Your attention would fall into this vacuum, and that became space. And there's I guess I could probably make a sun hat. That'd be fun. And when that got done, I was like, okay, how do I do the planets? Oh, I could make just circles and attach them to the vest, but I could also make spheres. And so none of this stuff comes out the way I ever planned or expect it to. It just kind of grows. I think you contributed some of the yellow yarn to this one too.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Yeah, because yellow's not one that shows up a lot in thrift stores. Bright yellow. So I think you contributed some of the yellow on this.
What I always find amazing about your work is that, for the most part, you create your piece as you go. It's on the fly.
Oh yeah.
So you don't work from a pre-written pattern. You're not using somebody else's directions. And because look, I can't make stuff when I follow directions. I don't know how you do it.
It's not because I I'm too good for them. I'm not good at following patterns. I'm not good at following recipes. I'm not good at following maps. I'm just so this is all I can do.
When what you're making is so outrageous, so fantastic. I mean, how do you put that in a pattern? But
well, that's the thing. And it's so funny. Every time I have one of these, people ask all the time, "Did you have a pattern?" It's like, who would make a pattern like that? Who would sell a giant squid headpiece pattern? Really?
Yeah. But then do they ask you for the pattern?
No,
Oh,
I know that.
don't they always?
Oh, yeah. So,
Oh my gosh.
People email you and say,
It is outrageous. All your stuff. And I love you. I know you get very excited about Halloween.
usually,
And, yeah, well, we're all in that COVID boat. But normally you do outrageously creative, fun stuff at Halloween. Do you want to share a few of what's gone on at your home?
we don't really do a lot of decorating at home, but I do make wheelchair costumes for Jake. So I make big, huge cardboard costumes for my kid, and so he's been a bathmobile with an actual faucet.
And a rubber ducky.
an ice cream truck.
An ice cream truck. No, he wasn't an ice cream truck. He was a Kogi. He was a Kogi.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he was a 1956 vintage convertible. And he was a rocket ship, and he was a steampunk submarine.
Oh, that was fantastic.
That one was a good one.
Oh my God. Yeah. Oh, geez.
Okay, here's
one with the bubble.
Okay, that's my coral reef.
Yep. So here's some details. Oh yeah.
Look at her work. She's so off the charts. She's so fantastic.
You just kind of you jump in and start crocheting. Did you know this was going to be a wearable coral reef when you started this?
No, I don't think I did. That one, a lot of those, the first few crocheted costumes were, sort of randomly assembled from things. I know the very first one, somebody gave me a box of her old knitting, and it had the back of like a sweater vest ready, like already made, knitted cable knit vest, and it was green, and I kind of just kept adding to it. This one, gosh, I don't even remember where this one started. It started with the hat. I made that hat in the spring in Cleveland on spring break with my kid, and I had a big bag of Italian, what is this stuff? Angora, I guess. And I was just kind of playing with this orange stuff, and it turned into like a sort of curly Q corally hat, and that's where it started from the hat on this one.
Yeah, but I love how you wear it. You're just like, somebody else would make that, and it would stay in a drawer, or it would be on a mannequin in their studio, or they wouldn't put it on.
It's really fun to wear.
I know. You're just like your joy when I just love it.
And that one was back when I still made ones that I could drive in, so that was no problem.
Oh.
Because the rain cloud, that's not really drivable.
No,
the squid is not really drivable.
Can you show that one? Is that one?
The one is behind me here. There it is. I'll get the headpiece. Let's see. That's.
Oh
yeah. And then I'll bring the girl over here.
But what was with the rain cloud? What was the rest of the costume?
Here it is. It's right here. It's let me see if I do it. Turn it right here. There we go. So this is at the bottom there's like fringes of jersey strip, but there's also seed pearls, and this is a glow in the dark like reflective tape.
Of course it is.
Shoelaces I got for like $1 a pound at Trash for Teaching, and the back is corset.
Oh, Penny, you're just brilliant.
When I was making this, I got so tired of doing gray and white all the time. And then I had that September I had vertigo for a little while, and I sat on the couch and made the colorful décolleté here,
Oh, here it is.
or what my kids call the rainbow boobs. And that turns out to be the best part as far as I'm concerned. So
Oh, I love your
Here
hat
you go.
though.
Here's
I
the
mean,
picture.
come on.
Take a look at this.
It's so fabulous. As my kids would say, you're a two fabu.
there it is. That's a meteorological reading.
Oh. I mean, neurological reading. Fabulous. Let's see here. Oh,
Oh yeah, it had hand pieces too.
oh, great.
And you did gloves as well?
For little clouds.
Oh, here's a longer. Ah,
That's before the reflective tape. That's before the lightning.
Lightning
well,
bolt.
just that headpiece. It comes off so you can drive. Can you drive in the rest of it?
Yeah.
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 Now be careful with those fringes. Put them to the side when you're trying to put your foot on the brake pedal.
Hey,
Okay.
Penny, I have a question. You know, when you were explaining, you know, the vest part and where you had gotten your elements from, and you had mentioned Trash for Teaching, which now goes by another name, right?
Right. 2-bit circus, I think.
Okay.
Oh,
But when you go and you look into these places, or let's say a thrift store, what are you just does something just catch your eye, or do you go there with an idea like, oh, I want to add? No.
Although, if I'm in the middle of a project, yeah, then I'm looking for all the yellow you can give me, or I'm looking for, as much silvery things as I can find or whatever. But no, they give me, when I get the stuff, then I get the idea.
So
Sequoia.
So when
I love that project so much.
Oh yeah.
so did I.
The Autry.
Yeah.
It was called
California Yarnscapes.
California Yarnscapes, and on let's see if we can find another picture of it. Let me. Penny, show us something else in your studio while I find more pictures of California Yarnscapes.
I'm going to have to duck down for this one, though, because...
That's Nessie.
No, it's a bird hat. See, the back of it's actually...
Oh, yes, it is a bird. Oh, my God.
That's the sort of the tail of it. And I have a whole costume for that, too, that has, like, long black pin feathers and fluffiness around the chest and things like that.
How long does it take you to make these things? You have so many of them.
So with the Halloween stuff, I usually make one a year. This year I didn't, and some years I don't. Some years if you may spend a year making something, you want to wear it more than once. So I've worn the tree one a few times, and I've worn the bird one a few times. I wear them a few times, and I wear them to other things. I wear them to like fun whenever I can come up with an excuse to wear them.
To like friends' weddings and things like that.
If they ask me, I would.
I guess it depends on the friend.
Yes, exactly.
What's that one?
Well, this is the tree costume.
Oh my God.
This is just the headpiece of the tree costume. Oh, there we go. See? That was so much fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That was a really good show. That was a YBLA event. We curated that.
Well, and I made one other one, and I made a sort of Ansel Adams tribute. And
oh, I remember that.
That was the black and white and gray.
Yeah, and Julie's like, "Well, do you want to make another one?" It's like, "Oh, well, my only other idea was the sequoias, but that would need a vertical space, not a horizontal space." And she said, "Well, you can have two spaces then." It's like, okay, now I'm making twice as much. That's great.
We've got these vertical columns, so show me what you can do.
Yeah,
and she did.
I did. Yeah. That one was inspired by like 1930s WPA posters for the national parks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that kind of gradient color and really, really sort of simple,
graphic,
clean design.
Mm-hmm. Oh my, they're wonderful.
did we ask about your background? When did you start crocheting and doing other art and fiber art and whatever stuff?
Okay, so I started crocheting in Girl Scouts. Thank you, Mrs. Cannon. And then, but I didn't do anything with it except make, baby blankets and this and that until, I want to say, I don't think I really did anything with it arty-wise until, or costumey or anything until after getting landed with YBLA. But I think it's mostly just,
Why?
well, I think it's mostly just that I think it hit me at the same time as sort of a midlife like crush of like creative compulsion. I don't know. Like I around the same time as that as when I was painting purses and I was teaching art in school and I was doing a lot of I started doing chalk art around the same time. So it kind of a lot of that stuff happened, after when I had like an elementary school kid.
Oh, the elementary school kid who is now doing college in her bedroom?
At Otis, yeah.
Where's she going?
At Otis.
Oh.
Yeah.
Marjan is her advisor, isn't she?
Marjan is her boss.
Well, there you go.
She TAs a figure drawing class for Marjan.
Okay, yeah.
So what's her major going to be?
She's in digital media.
Oh, good. Good
Yeah.
for her.
Yeah.
That's great. Okay. I want to look at another thing that we talked about. We do this.
I'm curious. You had mentioned the chalk paintings because I know you've been doing them quite a lot, and maybe you could, we could get back to that in a minute after you talk about your
Yes.
Granny Square skirt.
Let's see.
Sorry.
Oh, the
Okay.
Great. Okay. And so that's around the same time as we all met. That's got to be from about 2013. But it's yeah, that was just random bits of cotton until it was enough for I guess two sides. I guess the two panels were probably 4x3 and whacked together. And I think I ran some jersey strip through the waist for a waistband.
Yeah. So these other costumes came about after you were exposed to the people in YBLA.
Well, that, and I think that's around the same time as probably I got a Flickr account. Probably I got I don't know. I remember there was somebody who did crochet or knit costumes on Flickr that I was early on that I thought, wow, that's amazing. Who would spend that much time? She did like theatrical costumes. And they were gorgeous. They're so pretty. I should go look that up.
Casey does costumes, but for film and TV, I think.
Yeah, they were really beautiful. And so I started seeing people do things like that because of social media, basically, because of things like Flickr and Facebook, I guess, eventually, and blogs.
Oh, so I see. I thought we could take credit for corrupting.
You can definitely take some credit, and these things need an audience, and YBLA's always been an excellent audience.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, we did that one show in Chinatown, and it was a gallery show, and you had like the 3 mannequins there with costumes.
I think we had 4 mannequins. I think we had them sort of facing in different directions.
Yeah.
So I think we had the rainstorm, the tree, the garden, and the rainstorm, tree, garden.
Did you have the squid at that time?
Maybe that was it.
Did you already put the squid on while I was playing with my technology over here?
Let's see, which is the front side.
How do you engineer them that they actually stay on?
Well, this one is actually missing its insert right now, so I may have to hold it. But this one has sort of a cardboard fez insert that holds it on my head a little better and holds it up a little better. But it holds on. They're hands free, no hands on.
Wow! Show everybody the tentacles and the suck. Yeah, look at that.
And those are the tentacles, and these little end caps are from Trash for Teaching.
And you just picked that up because they were shiny and
Exactly.
Shiny objects. You just pick up shiny objects.
I think in this case I had picked up one one packet of these, and once I knew what I wanted to do, I went back and grabbed a bunch more. And the ones I could find the second time only had little jewels glued into them, so I spent all my time like clipping out all
And so what are those things? What were they in life?
grommets of some sort, I think.
Okay.
So they're like giant grommets.
They're
And these I think were like bells for like wedding decorations.
Oh, yeah.
They're kind of like plastic coated paper, I think, paper lace, I think.
Okay, I'm trying to get into Facebook.
I'm just in awe. They're so awesome.
This one was so fun to make because I was making it all summer that year, and I'd be in the park at like concerts in the park, and some fool would ask me like, "What am I making?" And I'd be like, "Tentacles for a squid, giant squid."
They're like,
Oh yeah.
they would back away from you slowly, huh? Like,
Hold up all the tentacles and say, it's a scarf. Or it's a baby blanket.
I usually only had one at a time with me because they take some time.
no, I like that. It's a baby blanket for one of the Addams Family kids.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
This is an anglerfish, and
Anglerfish.
it has a little light here. Let me figure out how to get it back on if it hasn't run out. This one came out because
There it is. It goes on.
the local knitting group that I was in, I got talking to somebody there, and we said like, it'd be fun to make like an anglerfish hat. It's like, oh, you had to say that, didn't you? I knew I was home making an anglerfish hat. So yeah, it has a light. I can't see it from here to play with it, but it has a light here. Yeah, there we go.
There it's on. That's all you need is a challenge, huh?
Yeah, sadly.
What's the body that goes with that? I mean,
There is no body for this one. This one's just the hat.
Oh.
It's a standalone.
Well, for this year, since your Halloween parties are going to have to be on Zoom,
Yeah.
saves you a little work.
I'm doing big chalk art for Halloween this year. I'm going to try to do some of the 3D chalk art. I've never done that before, so I'm working on trying to get that done. And I'm making
online.
I was going to say your Ruth Bader Ginsburg was beautiful, and just a lovely, touching tribute.
The ends of I haven't had the heart to sweep that one up, so it's still the very faded end of that is still out there, and I still get people commenting on it. So
yeah, it was lovely.
Your own front walk, because you have in the past done it on the pier in those rectangles.
Mm-hmm. Those are good. And then we've done, that's the splash wall. And then we've also done the actual pier where we're out over the ocean. And we've done Belmont Shore every year. I've done Belmont Shore, I think, for 10 or 11 years straight. And obviously none of that stuff's happening this year.
Penny, when you do the chalk art, do you use like the chalk from the dollar store, or do you use pastels that you buy at Dick Blick, or what do you use?
Both. So we use the sidewalk chalk, the kids' teacher sidewalk chalk as like a base.
Yeah.
And we use the denser pigmented chalk pastels for the actual picture and the
and that can get pretty expensive. Those pastels are.
It's we buy a few boxes a year and that's sufficient. It doesn't. We don't run through that much of it.
Really? Because your pieces are big, and I thought you would have the concrete would eat that up in a heartbeat.
Like I said, if you use the sort of regular sidewalk chalk as sort of a base, you don't have to use as much. You can kind of blend it in and make it work.
That's a good tip.
And I noticed from your process pictures that you do lay out a grid to expand whatever image you're working from, like the Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
If that's what we're doing, yes. Now, the few of the things we've done this year haven't been like an existing picture. So we did one that was called Epic Mystery Stories, where it was every day we added a few clues. So we added like a map, tickets, coins, little potion bottles. We had a book, an open book. We had a magnifying glass. We just added lots of things that you would find as clues in a mystery, basically. And every day, so we added one or two more every day. So people would walk by and say, there's a book. Now there's a map. So that was fun. Oh, now there's a letter. Yeah, we did a letter. So those sort of things we don't plan out ahead. We just kind of play with them. We did we did an aquatic scene earlier this year where we just kind of added a few fish every day until we ran out of sidewalk.
Tell me, do you get Peter, your husband, to work on it as well, or is it just you and Nell?
It's just me and Nell. It's mostly me. She doesn't have time. She's in classes full time and then some. So it's mostly me, but he helps with, like, when it's ready to go, I'll tell him to turn on the sprinklers, or he'll help with sweeping, edging the lawn a little bit.
So he gets to wash it away. Oh.
It's okay. It's chalk. We put it there. We know that's going to happen.
It's ephemeral.
Occasionally, I make something tiny.
Really? Oh my God! Look at that.
Oh, I saw that. It's a little Venus of Willendorf.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know one thing that I want to point out about this lady? She is not supermodel thin.
No.
Those paleo people who like to say there were no fat cavemen. It's like, excuse me, you know.
Hello?
Women, yes.
They were all
Okay, so here we go. Let's try with some of the here we go. There's Ruth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one, the collar was actually really grand to work on, and I'm, that was kind of the thing I say for the end, because I really wanted to put the effort into making each and every knot. Oh yeah, what I read and eat.
Yes, it's your Instagram feed. It's what I'm seeing on my screen. So.
It's what.
And this is.
That was a photo of an actress from 1906. Her name was Constance Collier, and she was playing Cleopatra. It's just a photo I really like.
Oh, and there's completely.
And then they came and replaced the sidewalk.
Yeah. So now, this is how we know it's your front walk. Let's see what else. See if I can go back and
Sure.
There we go. Is this many different stages of this drawing?
Right. So that's 2 different days, one without the background and one with the background.
So,
What about her market bag?
Oh yeah, my market
bag.
Right there in the center. Yeah.
I remember when I first met Penny, she was carrying a bag like this.
I have one that's more colorful. This probably be a Christmas present. So.
Oh, yeah.
But it's
I remember the more colorful one for sure. So I'm searching for, okay, Penny, what do we got going on here?
Yeah, we're at the making all the bed sheets into clothes part of the lockdown.
Hey,
those are bed sheets.
That's a Doctor Who bed sheet. That was a terrible bed sheet. It's polyester. It was not comfortable at all, but it made fun clothes.
Now, I've got to tell people that you have been a very big supporter of Fun-A-Day.
Yes, I've done Fun-A-Day, I think, all 5 years.
Yes, you have. And you've been...
Look at this.
These are wonderful, too.
And those were from Amy's online show.
Yeah.
We worked
now,
on
are you selling these? Do you have an Etsy shop?
I did a long time ago. I don't right now.
So we're not going to promote that then.
Well, yeah, there's the Epic Mystery one though, that with the
this one.
Yeah, so that's day 1 and day 2 of that one. So we started adding in things after the like the map is there and the letter is there, and then if you go up to another one that's day 3 and day 4, you see more. And
well, then let's see. Nope, that's not
that way. Sorry.
Oh,
and amongst doing all of this, she still is like reading books and going out and having fabulous meals, and she's living.
Are you going out?
No, we don't go anywhere. I get a lot of takeout.
Yeah, I mean,
that's going out.
Here's a great picture.
Yep, that's the
day with no wind.
The thing for the wind, yeah. But that's a windier day. So you see, it reaches back pretty far.
Yeah. There's a couple of the latest wheelchair costumes. Oh, look at this one.
So that was a series of 5 sort of Mucha-inspired lockdown women. So that one says rest. Others said eat, create, read, and cover.
Nope, not there. Okay, well then this is interesting.
That shows three. That shows the number 2, 3, and 4 of our lockdown chalk. So the first one was the aquatic scene, and then there was a space scene, and then there was the five women.
And there's also Happy Birthday, Nell.
Yeah, that was her birthday was in March, so she was the first one to be nailed by the birthday of 2020.
Yeah. My birthday was the last one that we celebrated this year, and mine's in January.
Yeah.
The rest of them have all been
birthdays next year for everybody, maybe.
June.
See, now the big one is she's crocheting.
Yeah.
Wow.
Good for her.
So there, I combined the two.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that's a good one.
And what are you doing for Halloween this year?
So we'll do some. I'm going to do some 3D. I'm going to try to do 3D chalk, which is a totally different process than what I usually do. And
I love these.
Why not give it? Oh, so that was for Fun a Day this year.
Oh,
for Fun a Day this year, I promised to make three outfits, at least 15 items, and they could be anything. They could be like a little phone pouch around my neck, or they could be a pendant. But all 3 pairs of pants, all 3 tunics, all 3 hats are things I made during that time. So yeah, 3 pair of pants, 3 tunics, 3 hats. I think 2 phone pouches, 2 necklaces, a scarf. I think I made one like wrist cover, like wristband thing. Anyway, so yeah, it was. I promised to make 3 outfits I could display together as an outfit.
They're fabulous.
They were really fun.
I wanted to show.
And that's the last thing I did with yarn bombing in person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That was at
Loyola Marymount University. It
Yes.
was.
Yep.
And
What was it called?
I have one of those here, and the wheels turn. That's the cool part about that one that you can't see in a still photo.
Oh, it was so cool.
Yeah, that was fun.
Not only she does all of this, she can engineer it.
Well, I don't know that I can, but I somehow do. I don't I'm like maybe I can make gears, and I never quite managed to make gears, but I made things that kind of turn like gears.
Amazing, just amazing.
Great. Oh, so Halloween is going to be chalk drawings. Do you think what's happening in your city for trick or treating? What's the word?
I think discouraged. I'm thinking about making a candy zip line that I can send little bags of candy out to kids at the sidewalk if they come by, so they don't have to come to the door.
I saw one on Facebook. Of course, it was one of those houses with steps leading from the steps down to the sidewalk, and it was just long enough. They had like a 6-foot paper tube, and it says the candy delivery chute, and it was 6 feet, so they could stay socially distanced, and people are going to drop the candy down the.
So I think I can do it with a zip line if I have like some fishing wire and some binder clips. I think we should be good to go.
Sounds good.
I have an orange and purple striped yarn bomb around my tree, my one tree, and I have my little free library has a Halloween yarn bomb, and it also has a Halloween costume. So on Halloween it wears its monster costume, but the rest of October it wears its yarn bomb.
Okay, here's one we've got to see. This was a couple years ago, right?
That was last year. That was it? Yeah, that was last year.
Like a couple years ago.
Yeah, in the before times.
Bath Mobile.
Yes, the Bathmobile.
Bathmobile.
And that one was so fun to make. And I got the box from Otis. People were moving into Otis. That's a wardrobe box. And then I got the actual hardware for the faucet. That came from. I just asked on Buy Nothing if anybody had like an old faucet lying around, and this one was not an old faucet. This one was still in its box. It was just an extra from construction or something. And then a lot of the rest of it is buying like little random like rubber duckies and scrubbies and things.
And I'm sure the light work on that.
Excuse me?
I'm sure the light work on that.
And let me see what else we use the headlights. The headlights are little top lights from 99-cent store, and those work. And the license plate, there's a license plate generator website that you can generate a license plate for any state, any year kind of thing. And so you just kind of give it the letters you want to use, and it generates the license plate.
Oh,
And we used Frappuccino lids for the bubbles on the tub.
Oh my God.
great.
You're so creative. You're incredibly cool.
Oh, here we go. Here's Penny's little free
No,
library.
that's not mine. That's not mine. That's a different one in the neighborhood.
Is yours on here?
Mine's pretty long ago. Mine doesn't get a lot of new photos because it doesn't change much. But mine's been up since 2013.
Oh, that would be a long way to go.
Yeah, it's a long time ago.
And what are you crocheting currently?
So Christmas presents maybe. Since I'm not making a costume this year, I'm making, scarves and hats and things I can send back east. What things just kind of develop. There's a thing I'm making that I think it's turning into a layering piece that I can wear, but I don't know that it's going to be that. But that's what it is right now.
Found this.
Yes. That was for Opulent Mobility last year, and that was at a gallery in New Jersey. And that was so much fun to make.
And
So pretty.
It is. It's fabulous. Did you also use this as a ground cover in the park?
That's the idea, is that we go to the park. The idea, it was sort of parking was the play, right? So it was, we need a blanket in the park when we go, and we need parking space for Jake. So it was kind of all those things together. I haven't actually ever taken it to the park. No, it's right here.
It's beautiful. It's really beautiful. Love it. So I'm going to scroll through some more.
Okay.
Here's more. Here's another picture of it. That's why I got the idea that you actually use it on the ground. I saw a picture of it on the grass.
Yeah.
So you submitted the piece for the social distancing for yarn bombing.
That's also for Opulent Mobility this year. So Opulent Mobility is an annual show that Laura Brody does every year. It goes in different places. The location changes every year. But this year it was supposed to be in Culver City, but it's going to be online. Hopefully we can get back to doing something in person again.
Yeah.
But that's when I covered yarn bombed the wheelchair one year, and we did the carved wheel that made letters in the sand.
Oh my God, that was so fantastic.
That was for Opulent Mobility.
So genius.
The steampunk submarine was in Opulent Mobility.
Where did you get that idea, though, to carve the wheelchair, the rubber in the tires? Because can you describe that? I know what the piece is, but could you tell everybody?
So a while back, maybe 10 years ago, I saw a print from a French print of illustrating somebody riding a bicycle. Well, that had like ink squirts so that it would print as he rode the bicycle along. And then I saw something, a guy in China who had set up a tricycle that had water squirts that would leave characters as he drove along, and he could program it to do different characters. And anything you can do with a bicycle, you can pretty much do with a wheelchair. So I decided to see if we could make something that Jake could leave his mark. And that started with the idea of it being sort of
That's a beautiful concept for him to leave his. I didn't ever think. Oh, geez.
So yeah, I made it originally thinking we would do it with water, but that didn't really work great. But then sand. We live at the beach,
right?
Great, sand worked great. So that was another one where I did not really know. I didn't know first. I didn't know if I was going to be able to do it, if it was going to work, if we could like affix 6 feet by and 1 inch by 6 feet or something like that, or 3/4 of an inch by 6 feet of.
Didn't you do it like you did one first and then did another one?
Yeah, I had to do both. You had to do both tires, but you couldn't really test it until they were both done.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
I could have put all that work in and not really had anything work. So that's my steampunk submarine right there.
Steampunk.
Jake is in there, and that's all random. There's an Altoids container and pill bottle lids and pinwheel and old wallpaper.
Let's see if we can play this video.
Oh, that's Laura's whole video about uphill mobility. I won't play the whole thing.
I'm going to ask Penny regarding the mobility with the carving into the tires. Had you ever seen in Santa Monica there was an enormous concrete roller that actually you know that one?
I did the Arnbaum wheelchair there, and Laura did the Firebird wheelchair there, and then the tire. Okay. Jake's carved tires are behind them there, and up against the wall.
That's
Carl Cheng, and when you rolled that concrete, it actually left a map of area of Santa Monica.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
There's the tires, but it's hard to see. They're kind of more of an event than a thing to look at.
Well, it's hard to get one photo, something like that, because you said that the circumference of the wheel is like 6 feet.
Yeah. Well, and you can't just like roll it and make a print. Like I tried to do that with just ink, but really it needs the balance and the weight of the chair itself. That's the book we did. What it did. And
that is so cool.
We did it in the dry sand, and then we tried it down closer to the water line. And one tire has sort of phrases like "merrily we roll along" and "where there's a wheel, there's a way," and rock and roll and things like that. And then when I realized that, well, somebody asked me, what do these phrases mean? And I realized that those phrases only make sense in English. So the other tire has all the has words for wheelchair in different languages that I collected from friends.
Right. Now, were those old tires, or did they stay on the wheelchair?
Yeah. He had recently had his tires replaced, and I kept the old ones, but they were very threadbare, so they weren't tires that we could otherwise use.
Right, because after you carved into them, their functionality.
No, these weren't. I didn't carve into the tires. I carved strips of linoleum and glued it to the tires.
Brilliant.
Glued it to the threadbare tires that didn't have any treads left. So I was basically improving them.
Oh, yeah, no, that's very cool. Very cool. That's great. Okay. All right.
Yeah, that was brilliant. That was just brilliant.
Mm-hmm. So I guess you're keeping busy during the pandemic then, Penny.
Oh, there we are.
Oh,
I am keeping busy. Jake is home all the time. My daughter's home from college. So we have, lots of people around. But yeah, no, we keep busy. We keep ourselves entertained, I guess. But I remembered now the first costume thing I made was a snail hat for Nell. She was she was 9 years old and she wanted to be a snail for Halloween, and she asked if I could make a snail hat, and I made a snail hat, and that's where it started.
Obviously, Nell is your daughter, because I don't know how many children, regardless of age, would say, "I want to be a snail."
Yeah, she was a snail. She was an owl 2 years later. The snail was really fun though, and the snail won us a finalist in a national kids creative costumes thing, so that was fun.
I remember pictures of the snail hat, and I'm not going to go looking for them.
Yeah, no, it's the picture of Nell in her snail costume was actually my most popular Flickr image. It was by long stretches, and I still get questions. And now it's 11 years later. I still get questions from people who are costuming Noah's Ark pageants, asking how to make various hats.
Or just randomly want to be a snail.
Well, snails, owls, anglerfish, ostriches, it's a thing. And I've made squids. I made a few Pokemon pots for her too, so that was fun too. Oh, and we did orca one time at where were we? We were at Rediscover Center in we made a couple costumes there.
Cool.
When they were still doing that stuff.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Everything seems to have gone through different phases and changes. So
Sure.
Yeah. Well, gosh, Penny, thank you so much. It's been almost an hour.
Oh yeah, you're right.
So, this is where we need to say to anybody who may be watching. Well, no, actually, to the people who definitely are watching. Please, if you like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Because I think that we will be adjusting our broadcast time depending on the schedule of whoever our guest might be, as we did today. And so I hope that anybody who's watching comes back again. And Penny, God, well, we'll see you on the social media.
You'll see me on the social media. Can I shout out to the Beach Cities Drunken Knitters and Knitting Tree LA, as other places I hang out and get an audience for my nonsense?
Absolutely. And you've got those. You include those hashtags on your Instagram, I think. That I've
Probably.
Seen there.
And you're in Los Angeles. I think we have a meeting next week, third Saturday.
Oh, okay.
Not this week. Next Saturday. Yeah.
Next Saturday, it will be the 17th because this Saturday is the 10th.
That sounds about right.
This is the second Saturday coming up.
So maybe we'll see you there.
Maybe.
I might even make it.
Wow. That's awesome. Well, thank you again for your time, Penny. You're fabulous. You're an inspiration of inspirations. You're amazing.
Thank you.
In many ways. Yeah. So it was great talking to you, and to everybody else. We'll see you next time.
Stay well, stay happy, have fun.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.